morning, everyone. Today we're going to be making pipe cleaner constellations. If you've ever heard of the word constellation, it is a big word. It is related to space, outer space. So a constellation is what you see here. So this is your template that you're going to need. But the constellations are just how stars line up. So it's a word that describes a grouping of stars that makes up a picture. So it's kind of like a giant dot to dot when you look up at the sky and you see all those stars. They kind of make a picture. So if you've ever looked up at the clouds sometimes and you think, oh, that cloud looks like a giraffe and this cloud looks like a baseball player. Kind of the same thing, except it's with stars. They do have names, and usually they're named after mythological characters or people or different objects. So a long time before maps and GPS systems were out in our cars and our phones, people used to use the grouping of stars to help them navigate to where they wanted to go. And they also use them to keep track of different seasons, which ones they could see and which ones they can't see. So what you're going to need for this activity is your cards here with the constellations, some perler beads, and a couple of pipe cleaners. So this one is where you can choose which one of these constellations you want to make. You can make one and then take it apart and make another one using the same materials. So some of them that are a little more popular, if you may have heard the Little Dipper or the Big Dipper. So there's one called Ursa Minor, and when you connect these, it makes this bear, maybe a little bear, small bear, and sometimes, yes, they call that the Little Dipper. And then there's this one, which is called Ursa Major. So there's lots of different ones. Sometimes they call it, it says bear to Big Dipper to plow and even to wagon. So there's a little story with each one. Lyra is a harp, and Hercules, which is this one, is this man, and I think he's in a different couple cartoons too from Greek mythology. So you can choose the one that you're gonna make. I'm gonna start out with Ursa Minor. So this activity is pretty simple, really. Each one of these dots represents a star. So however many dots you see, or circles, that's how many beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need 7. And these things are small and they roll all over everywhere pretty fast. They always end up on the floor. So you're just going to take your pipe cleaner and you're going to thread on however many beads you need to create your constellation. So this one needs 7. So I'm going to thread on 7. And if you like to use a certain color, you can. You can use all the same color, different colors, make a pattern if you'd like. So I have 7. So now comes the part where you're going to try and mimic this constellation shape the best that you can. So the nice thing about pipe cleaners is it has a wire running through it and it's able to be shaped and keep its shape. So for this one, I need to kind of have 4 stars and then a square. So you're going to have to bend it and twist it. Just be careful you don't poke yourself. And a nice little thing, little tip you might want to do is fold the edges in on both sides so that as you're working with this, they don't slip off. So you'll make the edges a little thicker that you won't lose the beads here. So I need to make a square. Okay, I'm going to use my finger here. Maybe a little smaller to make a square. Give me that corner here. Okay, so these guys have to go down here. I'm actually going to take the end and twist it around so that it keeps its shape, and then I'm going to try and move one of my beads in each one of the corners, similar to that, just on a bigger scale. And then I notice that it comes down like a little tail, and I'm going to bend it up a tiny bit, and I'm going to put one of my stars or beads there and one there. So there would be my Ursa Minor. Didn't turn out too bad. And like I said, depending on how many pipe cleaners you have, you can always take this one apart and make another one. If you're making something larger, like Ursa Major, you may have to use more than one together. So if I grab another one, you might want to, you can take two and twist them together. So you have one long one, because this one looks like it has quite a few different pieces. Or if you have scissors, you can cut, like, so for this little piece, you might want to cut a little bit off. Here's another tip. Since the wire is on here, just be careful. The back part of your scissors are going to be the sharpest. So if you want to cut one, open up to the back of your scissors and it might cut a little easier for you. So I have another Ursa Minor I made, and I don't remember what this one is, but I know this is another one I made. So again, you can use any variety of colors of pipe cleaners and beads that you would like to make your constellations. And you can have a whole galaxy of different constellations. If you would, you can even maybe hang these somewhere if you want, or you can, if you have some black construction paper, you can glue them and hang it up so it looks, the black paper would look like the night sky, or however you want to display them. Hang some string from them as well. So enjoy this activity and making your galaxy of constellations.